Hello and welcome back to another episode of County Perspective, the show that focuses on Frederick County government, local programs and events, and the community that you live in. I'm your host, Brandon Rosa, and thank you for joining us. There have been lots of things happening around the county recently, so let's start things off with some recent news from Winchester Hall. County Executive Jan Gardner hosted a public information briefing on Thursday, October 10th, accompanied by County Council President MC Keegan-Ayer, to recognize several county employees for their achievements, as well as to introduce the Sustainable Monocacy Commission. Staff from the Budget Office was recognized for earning the National Government Finance Officers Association's Distinguished Budget Presentation Award. The annual budget report was recognized for meeting high national standards for transparency and best practices. 2 transit services employees were recognized for their accomplishments. Transit's fixed route driver, Charles Tasco, was recently named the top transit driver in the state of Maryland. That is including the larger metropolitan jurisdictions. His safe driving, his on-time record, and his professionalism earned him the recognition. Transit Director Nancy Norris was honored with the Transportation Association of Maryland's Outstanding Leadership Award. Norris has worked with transit for 20 years and has been the Director of Frederick County Transit for 8 years. She led the division's move to zero-emission electric buses, making the first transit to do so in the entire eastern seaboard. Those electric buses are being charged by the sun. A new solar array at the Frederick County landfill is providing power to charging stations. Deputy Chief Administrative Officer Mike Marshner was project manager for the solar array. Mike was recognized at the briefing for the savings he generated with the array and other contracts. The solar array creates clean power and is powering 6 other county government buildings, in addition to the bus charging stations. Environmental planner Tim Goodfellow was also recognized for his professionalism as part of the Division of Planning and Permitting. Tim served as Frederick County staff liaison to the Monocacy Scenic River Advisory Board for many years. The board had members from both Frederick and Carroll counties. Tim was tasked to oversee the river management plan. The Monocacy Scenic River Advisory Board recently dissolved when the Carroll County's commissioners decided to create their own board. As a result, County Executive Gardner introduced draft legislation to form a Frederick County board known as Sustainable Monocacy Commission. The bill will be introduced by Council President MC Keegan-Ayer for the County Council to consider.
Both counties recently updated and adopted new river plans, and they adopted different plans. So a couple of weeks ago, the Carroll County Commissioners decided to go their own way and create their own board. So today I announce the creation of a Sustainable Monocacy Commission, which will help to make recommendations and provide advice to the County Council and the County Executive about things that we should do to improve water quality and to protect the river. The river is not just a water source, it is a scenic and recreational support for people. This gives us the opportunity to have a fresh start, to really create something new and do something positive into the future.
Frederick County government dignitaries and staff from Frederick County Public Schools gathered at 55B West Frederick Street in Walkersville for a groundbreaking ceremony for the new Rock Creek School that took place on Friday, October 11th. The new Rock Creek School will be constructed behind Walkersville Middle School and will replace the existing building on Waverly Drive in Frederick. Rock Creek School provides education and recreation activities for students with developmental disabilities. The new school will have 84,400 square feet of space, including an inclusive Parks and Recreation Center for the community, a courtyard with an outdoor learning area with interactive special needs equipment. Students will be able to enjoy a new cafeteria, media center, a therapy pool, and engaged learning with state-of-the-art wall-to-wall wireless and interactive panels in each classroom. Rock Creek School will be going green in its design. The school is set to meet U.S. Green Building Council Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design Silver certification, with a passive energy orientation and layout to maximize natural light, motion detectors, to conserve energy, and more.
The teachers and educators and administrators there have done a fabulous job And I know a number of families who have had students in the school. They've all been really happy with the services that are provided. But it is time for us to have updated technology and updated equipment and facilities to make sure that we can meet the needs of these unique student population. And so we're very proud that we'll be building a new Rock Creek School, which serves students up to the age of 21. And it will have something very special that we didn't have in the past. And we will have a new park and recreation gym there that will serve not just those students, but other students in our community.
Rock Creek School will serve 120 students and is set for completion in 2021. We'd like to take a moment to introduce you to one of the Child Advocacy Center's newest employees. This employee has a tremendous responsibility in the development, healing, and strengthening of the children's emotional support system. It's my honor to introduce you to Heiress. If a child in Frederick County is exposed to abuse or a traumatic event in their household, the Child Advocacy Center of Frederick County is here to help.
Working together with local law enforcement, with Child Protective Services, also the state's attorney's office, therapy, and medical staff. The purpose and the mission of the CAC is to bring all of those disciplines together to best serve children and families who've experienced abuse.
When children arrive at the CAC for an interview, a four-legged furry friend is great to have by their side. The CAC used to have Hodge.
They decided to retire him, and so he is living the good life with Lynn and her family.
Now that Hodge and former CAC Director Lynn Davis are no longer at the CAC, staff members decided to bring aboard Heiress.
So Heiress and I graduated from team training in January of 2019, and she started working with us in about February or March is when she first started coming every day to work with me.
Heiress may look like a normal dog, but she is actually a well-trained assistance dog. Training for her started when she was just a pup.
Canine Companions for Independence is the organization that we went through to have Heiress placed with me as a facility dog. And the company itself, they breed, raise, and train their dogs for purposes of being an assistance dog. She was with the breeder caretaker for the first 8 weeks of her life, and at that time then she goes to a puppy raiser. And then at about 18 months of age is when the dogs are then turned into a professional training site. Heiress was trained in the Northeast region in Medford, New York, and then she spends that time from 18 months old until she's ready to be placed as an assistance dog.
The CAC applied to have Heiress as their assistance dog, but if Kristen was going to be Heiress's handler, it was mandatory for her to seek training too.
There's a process, an application process to be put on a list for an assistance dog. Once I made it through that process, then I was invited to team training, which was a 1-week training program. I was taught about assistance dogs, I was taught about their training. I learned how to handle Heiress, all the different commands that she has, the way she's trained to walk on leash. The training team matches the dog that they feel would be most appropriate for my lifestyle, for my home life, and for my work life, and the job that Heiress will have.
Heiress was 2.5 years old when she was ready to assist children coming into the facility, which is around the average age for assistance dogs to go into service. So what does Heiress do at the CAC?
When a family comes into the Child Advocacy Center to meet with us, Heiress spends much of her time in my office. She has a nice little bed. She sleeps and chews on her bones. So she is typically there when the family comes in. Kids come here into our playroom where they're acquainted with the area and introduced to staff. And at that time, I'll introduce myself and I'll ask them if they're comfortable with service dogs and if they'd like to meet her. She then will come in, she'll meet the kids and the family. When I go back to the interview room, Heiress can also come with us. So during that time, she comes back to the interview room, she either lays on the floor next to the kids or up on the couch. She's happy for them to pet her and lean on her and lay on her. So she's there for them during the interview process when they're sharing their experiences. And then afterwards, she comes back here a lot of times to the playroom. We have puzzles and games and toys that she likes to play with too.
Heiress is on an on-call schedule. She is there to assist children late at night or early in the morning.
I'm on call often, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So there could be a situation in the middle of the night where a family, a child needs to come here and use the center and pull our team together to do that investigative work and the support. So Heiress has been known to be here at midnight.
Heiress can brighten up the day for any child visiting the CAC.
Kids come in anxious, nervous, worried about what's going to happen, not knowing the process, worrying about what's going to happen after they come in and share their experiences. So it's a really stressful time for them. Having the dog here really lightens it for them. It's very often that kids are really shy and they don't want to talk, and my job is to help them talk, right? Is to listen and understand their experience, and they need to verbalize that to me. Many times the conversation might start with Heiress, and I explain what her job is, and they might tell me about their dog. It goes from kind of a nervous, closed body to a smile and, oh yes, I want to meet the dog.
Children visiting the CAC will have the love and support from Heiress for many years to come, and so will Kristen and her family.
She'll be here with me as long as I am. A lot of the time, so kind of an average working age for assistance dogs in general, at age 8 or 9, we will probably start that conversation with Canine Companions and the graduate team there, just to see how she's doing. How is she doing with mobility, with her ability to continue to work? When she retires, we will adopt her, and she will be home with my kids, my family.
Be sure to stick around. We have plenty more coming up on County Perspective. Welcome back to County Perspective. I'm your host, Brandon Rosa. Now in a bit, we'll learn about Frederick County Public Library's Student Success Cards. But first, let's find out who this episode's featured pet is.
Shy kittens don't always stay shy. Just ask Gorgon. When he arrived at FCAC in August, he was the kitten who hid in his cage and was unsure of visitors. Now, after a little time and a lot of socialization, Gorgon is your typical kitten. He's full of energy and loves to play. Visit Gorgon at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center, 1832 Rosemont Avenue.
Are you a Frederick County Public School student? If so, our county library system has a wonderful way to connect you to information and resources that can help you with your studies this school year. It's known as the Student Success Card, and it has a lot to offer.
Frederick County Public Libraries and Frederick County Public Schools have a wonderful partnership. Any student with a student ID, which is every Frederick County Public Schools student, can access library resources with a simple prefix. And we have these wonderful flyers to give you that information. It explains everything right here. You can even take home your little FCPL card using that. So you just add a little prefix and you have access to all of our library resources, both in print and online. We also work with Maryland School for the Deaf, and their students get a special physical card, and those were distributed throughout the schools, and that's a great resource as well. It works the same way. Student success cards are designed to help students with their homework. So as a result, we give them access to 3 print items, that's books and magazines, as well as all of our digital resources, both our ebooks and our online resources, encyclopedias, language learning, and more. Student success cards for both FCPS and Maryland School for the Deaf students are completely fine and fee-free. So no worries about fines or fees with any of the items that you check out with your student success card. We've added some really great resources this year to our fcpl.org/learn page. And those include things like Mango Languages, where you can learn up to 70 languages, as well as our new Gale online resources. And these have a variety of student-specific resources, including encyclopedia articles, books, journals, all kinds of stuff to help you make sure you get an A on your next report. For our teen patrons, we have access to drivertest.org that gives you MBA practice tests. We also have Learning Express, which gives you access to SAT, ACT, and AP test resources, and also a variety of other testing resources as well. So if you're preparing for an exam, check out Learning Express and see if that exam is listed in there. So FCPL has a great variety of ways that you can be ready for the new school year. Make sure you utilize your Student Success Card and get ready for all the learning that is to come. Visit fcpl.org for more details.
Fall is here, the leaves are changing, and the weather is getting tamer. It's a great time to get out and enjoy some of the wonderful programs and events that some of our county departments are holding. Here's a look at just a few of them. To find more events and programs, or for more information, log on to the county's webpage, frederickcountymd.gov. Now at the end of our show, we like to mention a few recent events, along with things our viewers should keep an eye out for in the upcoming weeks. You're invited to the Maryland Department of Transportation's annual meeting in Frederick County. The meeting will be held in the first floor hearing room at Winchester Hall at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, October 30th. If you want to know what major road projects are planned for the upcoming fiscal year and what projects will be impacting your daily commute, then come to the MDOT tour meeting. Officials from Frederick County Department of Public Works and State Highway will be available to answer any questions and concerns that the public may have. If you can't attend the meeting, you can catch it live in Frederick County Government's Channel 19 and HD Channel 1085. County Executive Jan Gardner will be welcoming new United States citizens on Wednesday, November 6th in Winchester Hall during a naturalization ceremony. More than a dozen people from all over the world will meet in the first floor hearing room at Winchester Hall to take an oath to become a United States citizen. Last year, 23 people were sworn in as United States citizens. You are invited for this special and life-changing event. Well, that's it for this episode of County Perspective, but don't forget to follow Frederick County on social media in order to keep up to date on important news and events. We'll see you next time for a fresh look from a county perspective.